More features. Amazon S3 also provides a wide range of storage classes. S3 Standard, S3 Intelligent Tiering, S3 Standard Infrequent Access, S3 Standard IA, S3 One Zone Infrequent Access, S3 One Zone IA, and the 3 Amazon S3 Glacier storage classes. Every S3 storage class supports a specific data access level. S3 Standard is for general-purpose storage of frequently accessed data. It delivers low latency and high throughput and can access data in milliseconds. S3 Intelligent Tiering is for data with unknown or changing access patterns. It automatically moves your data, based on changing access patterns, between a frequent access tier and an infrequent access tier, without performance impact or operational overhead. S3 Standard IA and S3 One Zone IA are for long-lived, but less frequently accessed data. Since S3 One Zone Infrequent Access only stores data in one availability zone, it fits best for recreatable data. S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval, Glacier Flexible Retrieval, and S3 Glacier Deep Archive are for long-term data archive and digital preservation. S3 Intelligent Tiering, S3 Standard IA, and S3 One Zone IA also have the same low latency and high throughput performance as S3 Standard. S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval Storage class delivers the lowest cost storage, with milliseconds retrieval. It is designed for archive data that needs immediate access. For archive data that does not require immediate access, choose S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval, formerly S3 Glacier, with retrieval in minutes or free bulk retrievals in 5 to 12 hours. To save even more on long-lived archive storage, choose S3 Glacier Deep Archive, the lowest cost storage in the cloud, with data retrieval from 12 to 48 hours. With a wide range of storage classes offered by S3, you can choose which ones best fits your data profile and use cases. To classify, manage, and report on your data, Amazon S3 also provides easy-to-use management tools for granular data control. You can use S3 Storage Class Analysis to discover data that should move to a lower-cost storage class based on access patterns. Then you can use this information to configure an S3 lifecycle policy that makes the data transfer. A S3 lifecycle policy defines when objects transition to another storage class and when objects expire. It helps to manage your objects so that they are stored cost-effectively throughout their lifecycle. In addition, you can use S3 Cross-Region Replication, CRR, to replicate data into other AWS regions, or you can replicate data in the same AWS region. S3 Object Lock. Objects are locked for the duration of the retention period that you define and are protected from deletion. You can enforce write-once, read-many policies with S3 Object Lock. S3 Inventory Report lists your stored objects, their metadata, and encryption status. You can also use S3 Batch Operations to change object properties and perform storage management tasks for billions of objects. With S3 Batch Operations and a single S3 API request, or a few clicks in the Amazon S3 Management Console, you can perform batch operations such as copy objects between buckets, replace object tag sets, modify access controls, and restore archived objects from Amazon S3 Glacier. Since Amazon S3 works with AWS Lambda, you can log activities, define alerts, and automate workflows without managing additional infrastructure. With our Query and Place services, you can run big data analytics directly across your S3 object and other datasets in AWS. This means you can run big data analytics directly on your data stored in Amazon S3. It allows you to query data without needing to copy and load it into a separate analytics platform or data warehouse. Amazon S3 is also compatible with AWS Analytics Services Amazon Athena and Amazon Redshift Spectrum. You can use Amazon Athena to query S3 data with standard SQL expressions. Amazon Redshift Spectrum also runs SQL queries directly against data at rest in Amazon S3 and is more appropriate for complex queries and large data sets, up to exabytes. You can also use S3 Select to retrieve subsets of object data instead of the entire object, which can be up to 5 terabytes in size. It is designed to increase query performance by up to 400% and reduce querying costs as much as 80%. Versioning is a means of keeping multiple variants of an object in the same bucket. Buckets can be in one of three states: unversioned, the default, versioning enabled, or versioning suspended. When versioning is suspended, it will suspend the creation of version ID for new objects, but preserve all the existing object versions. Once you enable versioning, the combination of a bucket, key, and version ID uniquely identify each object. After the bucket is version enabled, it can never return to an unversioned state. You can, however, suspend versioning on that bucket. You can use versioning to preserve, retrieve, and restore every version of every object stored in your Amazon S3 bucket. Versioning enabled buckets enable you to recover objects from accidental deletion or overwrite. If you delete an object, it is not permanently deleted. Amazon S3 inserts a delete marker. If you overwrite an object, it results in a new object version in the bucket. You can restore the previous version. As long as the object has not been deleted,